Hi, everybody. Russell My Hammers 11. Hope you are all safe and well. Safe and well. That's very important. For your channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon, so you're made aware of anytime we put new content on. As always, we'd like to thank our lovely channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. So, time for another episode of the Noble Era. For those of you who haven't seen any of the Noble Era series, where the hell have you been? Basically, what we're doing is we're categorizing every player that Mark Noble has played with during his time at West Ham. There's quite a few of them, in so much so we've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and today's episode is brought to you by the letter S. It's letter S. So far, we've had 177 players that Mark's played with, and I want to say this could be the longest episode. Hello, content. And so what we also like to do is we like to have like a bit of a guessing game, a virtual guessing game. There's not many episodes left. There's probably going to be 1, 2, 3 episodes left, I reckon. Yeah, 3 episodes. We get three more episodes out of them. So, and then we'll do a big one. We'll literally reveal every player, like a marathon, Noble Era marathon. And then, and obviously, next season's Mark's last season. He's been at the club for 17 seasons. Next season will be his 18th season. And then we'll do a mop-up at the end of next season. You still got me till next season. Right, so let's start off. Let's take out Martin. I always say take out Mark Noble. That'd be a very unfortunate end to the series. Be like a real cliffhanger, like in Line of Duty, if we take out Mark Noble. What would H say? So the first player in today's selection. What can we do to describe this player? He played 71 times for the club, scored 71 times, scored 24 goals. I had the privilege of watching a match with him and Cheku Kouyaté in the dugouts. We played FC Berkakara. It is the man from France, Diafra Sakho. Good old. He was a solid player in El Diafra Sakho. I liked Diafra Sakho. I liked him. Scored a lot of important goals, particularly in those seasons. And you'd always guarantee he would, if there was a chance, he'd take it 9 times out of 10, which is always a good sign for a striker. Next up, not so successful player. Oh. let's ignore that. Who is this player? I wonder who it is. He made 18 appearances for the club. He didn't score a single goal, and I believe he's still at Watford, so he could well be seeing him at London Stadium next season. It's Carlos Sanchez. Carlos Sanchez. If you didn't realise who it was. Next up, a local boy. Scored his debut. Any guesses so far? He actually scored, I think he scored 3 goals in total in his West Ham career, 49 appearances, and obviously that goal against Blackburn, I think it was. It was Blackburn. West Ham boy as well, Mr. Freddie Sears. Never progressed, did he? I mean, 48 appearances, 3 goals. Not great, the best return for a striker, but he didn't get a lot of run, like starts. He was it. We thought he was going to be the next best thing, but he's obviously scored everywhere he's gone. He's gone to Ipswich and various others. He's always scored goals wherever he's gone. He used to be going to the same barbers as me, although I don't need the barbers now. So there we go. Next one, from one extreme to the other, from a very young player to a very old player. I believe the oldest player, but definitely the oldest debutant to have ever played for West Ham. I think that's right. He was integral to our seasons when he played. He played 87 times. He played a lot more games than I thought he did. 30 goals, and a lot of people that we interview around those times talk about what fantastic bloke he was as well, not just on the pitch but training and in terms of making sure that people would get the right money they deserved and things like that. It is, of course, the evergreen himself, Teddy Sheringham. And what a great servant he was for West Ham. There's 87 appearances, 30 goals. Hopefully we'll have him on the channel soon. Next up. Again, another extreme. From one extreme to another, from a very old player to a young player as well. He has made only 2 appearances, 2 first-team appearances for the club. Hasn't scored. I believe he's still in our books. He was on loan. He's got out on loan, I think. To it was a Greek side, wasn't he? He's on loan to. It's Xande Silva. He was the, unfortunately, very similar to a lot of players, a lot of youth team players, as injuries have just absolutely blighted his career at the moment, isn't he? But hopefully he's back to his best, and you never know, might get a tune out of him. Next up, again, one extreme to the other. This guy, I love this guy. Was gutted when he went to West Brom. Spoiler alert, it's Robert Snodgrass. 86 appearances, 11 goals. Top bloke. Top bloke. If you ever wanted someone to do a candid camera, how old am I? But, a prank video or anything like that for the club, they'd always pick this boy. They'd always pick Snoddy. We used to, the team called him the Snod Father after West Ham clips, because he was an absolute legend. I love this man. Always good to give 100% every game. No denying that. Had a fantastic whip on him in terms of those corners, and I hope he hasn't retired. I hope he has another. I hope he ends up somehow, if we draw West Brom in the cup or something, coming back to London Stadium with a full crowd of fans just to show their appreciation, because he always gives it. Always gives 100%. That's all we ask for some players, isn't it? That's all we really ask. So that was Snoddy. Next up, a Peruvian magician. We've had him on the channel. He's an absolute fantastic bloke. I love this guy. He was so sweet. Didn't play by his own admission. He wanted to play a lot more for us, but he wasn't given he was only given a 1-year deal, I think. Played 23 times, scored 4 goals, including I think it was against Derby. He scored an absolute banger. It is the trumpeter himself, Mr. Nobby Solano. And check out his Miami's 11. He's a lovely bloke. He doesn't remember anyone's name. I think he called Matty Effrington like Frank Effrington or something like that. Just didn't know. He can't remember their names, but he was a lovely bloke, and he was in Peru. He put the time difference and everything like that. Anyway, so that was Nobby. Who's next? Now this guy could have. So frustrating with this guy, because he was one of the most gifted footballers I think I've ever seen play at West Ham. Genuinely think of that. He was fantastic. I remember there was a goal. I think we played a behind closed doors friendly beginning of the season with him and Payet, and they did this little tiki-taki goal. It must still be on YouTube, which was phenomenal. He was a fantastic player. He played 46 times for the club, didn't score, but he was more of a sort of a defensive midfield player. Alex Song. And I was so excited when we signed him. I remember really clearly the day we signed him. We signed him on the pitch before kickoff, and no one knew we'd signed him, but we did, because basically we had our pre-match meeting, which is like 4 hours before, and the press officer was saying at the time, look, we're signing Alex Song, but we're keeping it really quiet, and then we're going to do it just before kickoff, and everyone's going to be wow. And it was, because he was brilliant. He was a fantastic player for us, Alex Song. Wish we'd had him for a lot longer, that was all. I mean, barely 50 games. Again, injuries blighted his career, but he's gone in Arsenal and stuff. But arguably, if he wasn't injured at Arsenal and Barcelona, he may not have come to West Ham. So who knows? Next up, this man. Talk about, he's played 2 games less than Alex Song, but he scored 11 goals. He is shortlisted for the Premier League Player of the Season. Well deserved. Mr. Potato Salad himself, Mr. Tomas Soucek. And what a fantastic season he's had. He's not leaving. He better not be leaving. Brilliant man. And I hope he's recognised by the Premier League for the play. He won't, because he's not one of the Greeny Six, and we know that's unfortunately the case. But what a fantastic season he's had, and long may it continue. Next up, this man. Fair to say, an obscure player until that game against Man United in the quarterfinals, when he turned into prime Iniesta. He was phenomenal. All in all, he made 115 appearances for the club. Wow, fair play to the man. 4 goals he scored. I believe 2 of them were at the Man United game. It was former Man United player himself, Jonathan Spector. And that was at the Man United game. That pitch, it was snowing. Do you remember it was snowing? I think Colton jumped in some snow. We won, is it 4-1? I think we won. We actually tore Man United a new one. This guy they put him into defensive midfield and he was phenomenal. And yeah, should have been there his whole career. But Jonathan Spector, he is number, where is it? Jonathan Spector, he is number 187. 188 coming in. Youth team player. He went off to have a really good career at Orient, if I remember. He only made 10 appearances for the club, but he was always a strong prospect, but never took it to the next stage. As I said, I think he went to Orient and played many games at Orient. It's Jordan Spence. Do you remember Jordan Spence? I've still got that shirt and it still fits me. Kinda. Not Jordan's shirt. That wouldn't fit me. I wouldn't need to touch the sides. Wouldn't be able to get my head in that, but my version. Well, I think the Macron left-hand shoulder random thing, it was only on one shoulder, not on the other. I think that's peeling off somewhat, but yeah, he was. And the material was really weird. Felt really not very stretchy, not very forgiving for the more rotund physiques around us. Next up, another youth team player. Arguably his best years were after he left West Ham, and a great career at Bournemouth. For us, he played 47 times, scored 8 goals, was one of that similar ilk to Jordan Spence and himself. Never really, I mean, he almost played 50 games, but he could have played a lot more. And his appearances for Bournemouth show that. It's Junior Stanislas. Great player. Always liked Junior. So much pace. And that's something you can't teach. You can't teach someone to be quick. They're either quick or they're slow. That's it. That's my mantra. Next up, another, not a youth team, but we bought him reasonably young. Didn't make a whole bunch of appearances, 3 in fact. Obviously didn't score because he's a goalkeeper. It is Mr. Marek Stech, and I believe he went to have a good career in the lower leagues as well. I want to say, I can't remember. Part of me wishes I probably should have done a bit of research, but I never do with these things. Where did Marek he's currently plays and got Mansfield Town. He was oh god, you don't want to see that. Don't see what I want to look at that. He was massive. He was a massive player. He played for who's the big one? Yeovil. We played a lot of games for Yeovil Town. Went on loan at Orient as well, and Mansfield Town and Sparta Prague. Hey, Sparta Prague. It's all about the connections. So that was Marek Stech. And lastly, another youth team player. Now he made, looking quickly, only 1 appearance for the club. Didn't score. 1 appearance forward. If I believe didn't he go to Celtic and made a great career at Celtic, I want to say. It is Mr. Tony Stokes. Mr. Tony Stokes. We'll even go back to full screen. Tony Stokes. He is player 191. 191 players. That's a lot of players, isn't it? That is a lot of players, isn't it? So we've only got a couple more episodes left, so we're almost hitting 200 players. That is incredible, isn't it? One player has played with over 200 players in his career for one club. But anyway, it's probably the longest episode we'll ever have, apart from the last one. We did all 200 and something. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get well soon, Jack. You're not very well at the moment, but get well soon. Get your jab appointments when you get your jab appointments. Wash those hands. Come on, you irons. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Much love. Bye.